You know, when Microsoft first introduced Xbox Game Pass, I wasn't exactly sure what to think. Sure, it sounds good on the outside, right? Hey, you're going to be able to play your games, there's this big catalog of games, but there's also that fear factor that, hey, what's going to happen in the future? How are developers going to be able to afford this? How's Microsoft going to be able to afford this? It seemed too good to be true, and in life, when things seem too good to be true, they usually are. So it did leave me kind of questioning what's going on and what will Microsoft do in the future, because you never really know. Obviously, Microsoft was kind of getting their butts whipped by Sony in the last generation, and so it always kind of made sense for them to try and go after something a little different. And we've seen them go after different things, even right from the start, with something like, you know, their cross-play and cross-gen stuff, the stuff with cross-buy and the PC. Everything they've done is to sort of maybe capture something that, you know, Sony doesn't have, right? And I thought that was a pretty interesting way to kind of go about things, because, you know, at the end of the day, listen, Sony's going to continue to do well. Sony's going to be Sony. They've always found a way to kind of prosper, even with the train wreck of the PlayStation 3, right? Even with that train wreck, we have to look at this and go, you know what? They were able to go out there and, you know, kind of come back and do okay and earn enough goodwill through gamers to actually go ahead and, you know, do their thing, you know, survive. There was no real guarantees, and they've even kind of mentioned it themselves that, you know, there came a point where if the PlayStation 4 wasn't successful, that they maybe wouldn't have been able to continue on. And so that's not hearsay, that's straight out of Sony's mouth. And so we look at this and we go, well, Microsoft has really changed the game. Is that such a bad thing? Now, we get some information and some news like today's news, and you go, well, that directly contradicts the narrative that Sony fanboys kind of put out there, and it directly contradicts what, you know, Sony themselves are saying. So I wanted to get into this because I felt like it was a good topic of discussion. Hey, everybody, I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews, your home of reviews, all kinds of stuff, although I don't do very many reviews anymore. I really wish I could. With that being said, really appreciative of each and every one of you. Please like the video. I'm looking to get 100 likes on each of the videos. I know it's a very small goal, but it's something that I definitely need help with and would mean a lot if you guys would do that. So thank you guys so much for rocking out with me. It really does just mean everything to me. Now, with that being said, I really do wish that you know, Microsoft and Sony would kind of chill out a little bit. You know, as far as I could tell, you know, they're both doing their own things, and neither one of them is doing a bad thing. So that's kind of the thing that I would sort of talk about a little bit first, is that, you know, it's funny to see the way that Sony kind of reacts to these type of announcements. You know, like originally it's always said, hey, there's no good games in Game Pass, there's always low quality, all the day one games are terrible, and they're not just talking about, you know, the first party stuff, right? Anytime a third party game goes into Game Pass and it's, you know, less than amazing, people jump on that. You know, they jump on that bandwagon, that hate train, and you know, you kind of get sick of it. You know, like I know especially that I have, and you know, so when Game Pass adds a day one title that's really strong, which they just did, I think that's really worth talking about. So Microsoft Xbox Game Pass subscription service adds new one-day titles which have received solid and strong reviews. They added Plague Tale Requiem, which with the title having received strong reviews prior to release. Of course, it's just one of the games coming this month following it on October 20th. It's technically 6 games coming to the Xbox Game Pass, including Dark Descent and Amnesia as well as Soma. They're adding some Halloween favorites, some scary, spooky games. It's also going to see on the 21st the addition of Persona 5 Royal, as well as some other things mixed in there. So according to the new Open Critic aggregator, Plague Tale Requiem has strong reviews. It has an 83 top critic across 90 reviews, with a total of 83% of critics recommending the game. So it'll be interesting to see how fans feel about it exactly. But But at the very least, it seems most agree that it is a solid sequel and a great game as a whole. So Plague Tale Requiem takes place 6 months after the first game, traveling to southern France in search of a cure for Hugo's blood disease, and it explores the connection of the siblings, his plight with his powers, and as well. So if you played the first one, listen, I'm not going to sit here and BS you and claim that I'm a huge fan of this series or whatever. I played the first one a little bit. Definitely not my favorite series. It's everything, according to this, everything you could want for a sequel. It's more ambition and action packed than the original, and isn't quite easily. It's quite easily one of the best game releases of the year, according to this site. So again, listen, like I said, it's just funny to me that all we get and all we hear are, how all the games are so bad. Oh my gosh, so bad. And then when you see stuff like this pop up, you just kind of scratch your head and you go, hey, well, listen, that game is not bad at all. I think that it's just realistically, one of those things that we're going to continue to see Microsoft do and offer great games. I can't wait to see what they're coming. And, it's funny because, like I said, I was initially scared of what was happening with Game Pass. I didn't know what to expect. That's the thing. Like, you honestly, when you see these games and they're putting it in there, is it going to be less quality? Like, that was my initial thought as well. But then when you actually see, that they're able to sort of have this amazing quality, you sort of go, oh, okay, well, it makes sense. Because, first of all, let's get this straight. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to subscribe to a service with low quality in it, right? It's not going to happen. Low quality stuff is not going to happen. Like, who would do that? If subscription services are offering low quality stuff, who in their right mind is going to go back to that, right? It doesn't matter what it is, right? To be honest with you, I honestly don't understand the people that think that way. It's so strange to me. Like, Microsoft that's why they're delaying games. That's why they're making sure that all this stuff makes sense. That's why they're making sure that the teams have the money and the time to do it. If it was just all about rushing low quality stuff, they would have put out Redfall. They would have put out Starfield. They would have rushed these games out. I think it makes sense, and I think that it also, obviously, Microsoft is going to have to understand that, people in general aren't gonna, and this is them, and I understand that, but people in general aren't going to take Microsoft as serious until they start, showing even more so that the quality is there. And I think that's coming. We just have to wait a little bit longer. So it is an exciting time. I can't wait to get into it even more. It shows what, Microsoft is doing, things that Sony isn't really. Adding stuff, even third-party stuff, day one into Game Pass, is a huge, huge bonus for Xbox fans. Thank you so much for watching. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. Crap gamer out.